Today, Paul Toole and I are announcing the fact that the Commonwealth and the New South Wales governments have combined to put in place more than $1 billion of roads infrastructure for New South Wales. Now, this is part of the national effort, of course, through coronavirus to get people into work, to get infrastructure and construction happening on our roads right across the nation, because it is so important that we get these people into work, that we get these shovel-ready jobs underway, and that we get the right repairs and the right fixing of roads right across the nation. New South Wales and the Commonwealth have combined more than $1 billion of roads infrastructure, $398 million to develop safer roads, so $398 million dedicated to building safe roads and the sorts of safety aspects that you would expect us to do, particularly across regional New South Wales, where sadly the numbers of deaths in crashes are disproportionate to the number of drivers on the road. So that is very unfortunate, and that is why we are addressing that particularly important matter. And there's $384 million for fixing roads, and that is very much a state program combined with federal assistance. This is what happens when the Liberals and Nationals come together at both a state and a federal level and put money into road infrastructure. And 5,000 jobs are going to be created by today's announcement. 5,000 jobs are going to be created right across New South Wales. 3,500 of those jobs will be in regional New South Wales. So Paul Toole and I have been very busy designing and planning and preparing this announcement today, this package of road infrastructure today, working with local councils. And of course, local councils, they are the very forefront of the three tiers of government. They are at the forefront of making sure that we get these local roads to the state to which they need to be. And delighted that Rowena Abbey could be here today for this particular announcement. And indeed, her district alone, her shire alone, is going to be the beneficiary of nearly $2.5 million of the funding that's going to occur in regional New South Wales. So delighted that this has taken place. Of course, in Sydney today, Premier Gladys Berejiklian and the Prime Minister Scott Morrison will be talking about the money that we're spending in the metropolitan areas to address those pinch points, to ease congestion. So right across New South Wales, $1 billion. It's part of the money that the New South Wales and the federal governments have combined, and of course the Commonwealth government has put $1.5 billion right across the nation for bring forwards, for road safety measures. I wrote to each and every one of the states, wrote to each and every one of the 537 local councils across the nation to ask them for their priority projects, to ask them what they wanted in particular as far as road infrastructure is concerned, because we know that there's been a downturn in jobs, of course, through coronavirus. And what we want to see is shovel-ready projects, having workers on site, having excavators pushing dirt around, and having that activity to build better roads, to build safer roads, but also to get that local infrastructure in place, to build more jobs, to create activity, to help with local procurement. And we know that if you get local roads fixed up, if you get local roads being built, then you're going to have that local procurement, those local jobs. So I might ask Paul Toole to add to those remarks, then happy to hear from Wendy, Rowena and Trevor, then happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Deputy Prime Minister. And can I just say, it is great pleasure to be here today with the Deputy Prime Minister Michael McCormack in announcing this major funding announcement for regional New South Wales. It's also a pleasure to have my parliamentary colleague, the member for Goulburn, Wendy Tuckerman, the Mayor of Yass Valley, Rowena Abbey, and the Nationals candidate for Eden Monaro, Trevor Hicks. And I want to say that today we are turbocharging our Fixing Local Roads program in the bush. This means jobs, this means safer roads, local roads being improved. Last year, the state government announced $500 million as part of our Fixing Local Roads program, and this was to go towards resealing, maintaining and repairing local roads in our communities. Now, local roads are important to locals. We want safe roads to drive upon when we're travelling around our local area. Well, today, with the Commonwealth putting in $191 million, that means we can actually see this program having a joint funding of $382 million in the areas. Now, this means in the first round, $250 million is going to be rolled out. This is going to see 258 projects being delivered in 83 local government areas. And as the Deputy Prime Minister has said, this immediately will create 3,500 jobs. When you look at COVID, the most important thing in the regions right now is creating jobs. These are projects that are shovel ready, and these are projects that our communities are looking out for. Sometimes we talk about those big infrastructure projects that get the headlines, but sometimes smaller projects like this make the biggest difference in our local communities. Now here in Yass Valley, they're going to receive just under $2.5 million, but that's going to go towards fixing 21 local roads. Now when we talk about 21 local roads, that's roads that mums and dads drive upon taking their young kids to school. It might be roads they drive upon just to get to and from work, or it might be roads they drive upon just to go shopping. What we're also seeing as part of the program is our Safer Roads program, another $140 million being put in by the Commonwealth Government. This is on top of the $258 million from the state government. This is going to see another 62 projects on top of the 383 already earmarked, and another 36 local government areas being earmarked for safety upgrades. We're investing in the regions. Today, we're actually turbocharging the regions with $1 billion being unlocked for infrastructure, which is critical for our local areas.